Hey, welcome everybody. This is John Paul Dutch Duck Speed Sign. This is Raging Verbalist, the Raging Verbalist, and I am that Raging Verbalist. This is number 266. For those of you keeping track, if you're new, welcome. If you are an old hat at this, glad to have you back. Always hit the subscribe, the like, notifications if you want to be annoyed, make comments if you'd like. And of course, we talk about a variety of different topics. Don't veer off much into politics, but I have someone who plies me with the questions that you would be asking if you were actually sitting here. And that is, of course, the ever lovely Sandra. Sandra, welcome.
Hello, how are you doing? And happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you. Look at you. You know, your sweater matches Valentine's, and
That's right.
I don't have a shirt with like little hearts on it. I don't know. It's
Oh,
just uh
maybe you'll get one for Valentine's Day.
there you go. Could be. Still
That's right.
still on beating heart. Still
There
on
you
beating heart.
go.
So all right, so obviously you've already tipped the hand of what we're talking about today, so let's dive in.
All right, so is Valentine's Day a real holiday or is it made up to sell cards, candies, and other things?
Well, it is. There was a Saint Valentine. This whole all about love and having a holiday which reflects that. And I always thought, well, okay, but I think it's become rather commercial and how all of that. So is it a real holiday? Kind of. If you ask people if they're going to observe it, it depends on what kind of relationship they're in and what they're doing. I remember being a wee little John and sitting there, and you would get the little candies that had the little hearts, and they'd have little, signs, and then you would have to make out of construction paper Valentines, and you would give them to people, and you know, never kept in touch with those people. I wonder if they kept one of those Valentines that I so expertly put together with glue and construction paper. But yeah, that's so that's is it a holiday? Yeah, close enough. Close enough.
All right, so let's take the good, bad, and ugly of Valentine's Day. So what's some of the ugly?
Well, some of the ugly things that I've seen are, first off, you don't do anything, you kind of ignore it. And if you're in a, long-term relationship of any kind, I'm going to tell you, either you have no romantic interest whatsoever, or you're just kind of, oblivious to it. So I think that that's probably a big mistake, in my opinion. Or anytime you give really bad gifts. I mean, I've heard people giving a vacuum. I'm sure it's the fastest way to make someone, if you're a male, you give it to your your wife or girlfriend and say, here's a vacuum, and have a good time with that, or maybe even a blender or some other kind of ridiculous gift like that. I mean, it's supposed to be, and who knows, maybe there are people out there who there may be a vacuum fetish crowd out there, walking around, but we don't need to go too far into that. So I think those are some ugly things that people give, and you know I always try to understand that that's probably not a smart motivating thing to do.
All right, so what's some of the bad?
Well, the bad are the real, the cheap outs. I mean, you go buy something and it's got a clearance tag on it. I mean, do you understand you got to remove the price tag? Nobody wants to see that you got this in the markdown section. Nobody wants to see that. Maybe you're gonna go out on a date because it's a date night, and you're gonna go out, and it's unplanned. You don't have any reservations. You don't have anything figured out, and you show up, and there's a 2 hour wait, or you're gonna go eat at the bar, but now the bar they've decided, well, we're going to have to make that, where you have to have reservations for that, or even worse is you stop on your way home and you buy you buy some takeout. I know I'm showing that I'm not a DoorDash kind of guy, but maybe you buy some takeout or get something like that, and it's not really that special. You should try a little bit harder, I would think.
And what's some of the good?
Well, I think the good is that you've thought about it. You've planned some things out. You've got a gift that this other person wants, whether it's, jewelry or clothing or, perfume or whatever that might be. or something pretty cool. I mean, and you have to decide, well, what is that going to be? What are we gonna, and what's that going to look like? And if you do that, I think that you're in good stead. And of course, I always believe that if you haven't thought about a great Valentine's Day present, well, you can always get a Raging Verbalist mug. I mean, nothing says "I love you" like something that says "Rage" on it. So you can always check that out. Also, if you want to know that you can get a really good, the best thing you can get for somebody, especially if they're an entrepreneur, if you're sitting there saying, "Hey, I've got this person who wants to be in business or be successful or whatever it is, what would I get them?" And I'm always leaning towards, well, my own ideas is that you go out and you get a book, and you get, most businesses fail in the first 5 minutes. It just takes them 3 to 5 years to realize it, position to win. See, then you go read the book, you make a lot more money, and then you can buy even cooler gifts and better stuff and do all that. It's available physically on the position to win book.com website, position to win book.com website, or and I'll autograph it for you if you want. And then you can also go out and get the book at Barnes and Noble, Amazon Books a Million. Also, you can get it in every digital format that is out there that we know, Nook and Kindle and Apple iBooks. And then, of course, if you want to get better at what we're doing, you go get Remote Work for a Better World, and that's exclusively on the Kindle, Amazon Kindle store. But those are the things that you might get that would turn it from an ugly situation to a good situation.
All right. So how can you up your game? Give us some tips.
Well, I think knowing what the other person wants and would be unexpected. I think that if you don't do those nice things, if you don't do those thoughtful things, and one of the things is that since I've spent so much of my life on the road doing business turnarounds and travel, is that I would go and stop and pick up. I'd pick up cards, and I would actually mail cards back to my wife, which oftentimes I would beat the card home, given the Pony Express rapid postal system we have. But they're always enjoyed and liked. So do something that is a little bit different. Do something nice. Decide, hey, I'm going to go do something. What do they want? What is something special? And listen to that. We live in such a internet age where we're not really doing some of these things. Now, who knows? Maybe you could even say to your significant other, create a gift list on Amazon, so that way you don't have to do too much of thinking. So those are some of the things I could think that will up your game.
All right. So instead of buying things, what are some experience gift suggestions?
We are such a We're watching, Netflix and Hulu and Prime, and we could just keep going on and on and spend next 20, 30 minutes talking about it. But what you can do is do something like get out of the house and go do something fun. Go to a concert, go to a museum. I'm surprised at how many times I've been in museums and there's like nobody there because everybody, I guess, is at home, you know, watching cat videos or other something. If you have a mind to go to do some wine test tasting or special events and things like that, and think about what the other person wants wants to go to that you don't normally want to go to, and that would, I think, really be a nice thing. And those experiences are really good, and especially if you get there and you have the mindset that you're going to be in the moment. I'm going to give you that part. You got to be in the moment, and you got to spend some time and be focused and enjoy yourself, because life is all about experiences. Why shouldn't you have cool experiences too?
And what would be a spectacular way to do Valentine's Day?
Surprise somebody with a trip. I don't know if you, depending upon your income and where you're coming from, but maybe you want to go to Hawaii or Paris or Vegas or do something, but surprise them and say, hey, we're going to go on this trip, and this is something pretty special. Set that up and do all of that effort and work. I've had that happen to me several times in my life, and it has been absolutely spectacular. Such a great, wonderful way to do it. Same thing with, you can do that for anybody that and tell them how much you really care about them and what that might be. So, where would you want to go, Sandra? I mean, I know you've traveled far, but where would you want to go?
Hmm. Well, I have, I think, 9 states left to see. So, but they're, it's like North Dakota, Alabama, Hawaii, and Alaska are on there though. And those are two places I definitely want to go. Uh, Anywhere in
Well,
Europe, I mean, there you
it's a
go.
longer it's a longer drive to Europe, but I think you guys
Yep.
could make it. But yeah,
That's
no,
right.
yeah, and well, and I'll tell you the one that I never thought I would ever like at all, but my wife just said, no, we're going to do it, and we went on some cruises, and those are pretty cool. So, and my suggestion is that if you're younger and you think, well, I don't know if a cruise is for me, yeah, no, they got a lot of fun things you can do. So yeah, all right, so we have to do a GoFundMe page to send Sandra to North Dakota. I think
I
bus
gotta get all
fare,
50.
bus fare, box lunch,
Let's do this. Great
you're all
American road trip, you know?
you're all set. I can see it now.
That's right.
Fargo,
That's right.
Fargo, look out. Yeah,
That's right. That's right. I got to get all 50. I'm very close. Very close.
there you go.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So what are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Well, I always try to go out and do things like today I'm going to go out and buy flowers and surprise my wife of so many years who's put up with me over these many treacherous times and good times. And I'm going to go buy some flowers. I'm gonna actually plan to do some cooking for her. So I do, I like to cook anyway, but I'll do something like that and kind of make it a special occasion that way. How about yourself?
So we are planning a heart-shaped pizza because why not?
Oh, oh,
For a local business, support the small businesses, everybody. And then we are going to participate in the Cornell University Great Backyard Bird Count. And so it's something where you basically bird watch and take notes of like where you found it, what species of bird it was, what time, all of that, and then you submit it back to the Cornell University lab. So it's going the whole weekend. We love birds. I think it'll be cool. And I'll take my camera, get some good shots. I think it'll be a good time. So there you go.
and there, by the way, there are all kinds of those types of events that go on, and we're just not aware of them, and can be, quite amazing to do that. So well, and it's a bird watch, not a bird hunt. So everybody just keep that in mind. So the only shooting she's doing is through the camera. So
That's right.
all right. Well, with that, I just want to wish all of you, from myself and of course the ever lovely Sandra, a wonderful, happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully, you're going to have a great one. Make sure that you do enjoy it. You only get so many of these in your life, and you definitely want to enjoy and have excitement and do all those kinds of things. And if you need a special occasion to really get yourself amped up, maybe this is the one to do it. So, for myself, John Paul Mendoza, and the ever lovely Sandra, this has been the Raging Verbalist number 266, and we'll see you on the next Raging Verbalist.